This is our Taiwan tour, October 2018, day 2, where we visited 3 tourist attractions in a town called Taichung, which is on the west coast, halfway down the Taiwan island. We travelled by fast train down to Taichung and we stayed at a friend's house and they showed us around their town. The first place we visited was the Wufeng family mansion. There was so much to see in this place. I'll just give you a short history. The Wufeng family mansion is divided into 2 areas because it's such a big complex, and the Wufeng clan was a large family. The first area was the upper mansion and the second is the lower mansion, and there's some lovely murals and things, as well as a museum. And later on we'll talk about the Lin family garden. The buildings were constructed in the 1800s or thereabouts. The upper house, or the upper mansion, has got a number of different sections: a hibiscus mirror studio and a tower of respect and fragrance building, a new house as they call it. It's in addition to the fragrance building, the nourishment orchard, and the lower house is divided into Koku area, Gongbordia area and courtyard, the Great Flower Hall and the Wufeng building. These areas also include a rather nice museum with lots of different old stuff, I presume from the family, and then the courtyards and triangle with artwork and beautiful wall murals and such. Unfortunately, most of the signage explaining these exhibits was in Chinese, so I didn't get to learn too much about it, but I suppose you could find a website if you wanted to know. We must have spent a good hour or more just in these 2 buildings, the upper and lower mansions. You can see by the woodwork and ornate staircases and just the beauty of the place is typically Chinese in design and appearance, and it was quite lovely. You can pause some of these pictures and videos to get a better look at what we actually saw. This was a centre stage area, and if you have a look at the underneath woodwork, the woodwork overall was absolutely gorgeous. Then we moved into another main building area, and it had more exhibits and more like a museum of the family history and family collection. The collection included weapons and lots of other really cool memorabilia and stuff. So there was a group photograph Linda took for us of the people that came with us to tour around and drove us around. Here's another shot of that lovely performance centre stage. Here's an example of the fine workmanship the Chinese put into their buildings. Then we went out into the Wufeng family garden area. This garden was declared one of 4 great gardens in Taiwan in around 1893, and like everything in Taiwan and China and Japan, There's a theme to it. There was 10 scenes of this Taiwan family garden, the cotton tree bridge, washer room stream, 5 Cassia tower, a pool, lychee island, through an area of cherry trees, moon viewing peak, 1,000-step trail, pavilion and Vespa, and of course a veranda. Also there were other things in this garden: an iron cannon table, oak pottery tablet, family stone, a tablet for one of the masters, something called the 36 Steps, the Lin clan ancestry cemetery, something called the Stone Duke, a bronze statue of Lin I, an Oak Poetry Society's bridge, and as usual we did so much walking around and concentrating that it was exhausting. It was rather warm as well, so we sat and relaxed. Fortunately we didn't get pooed on by any pigeons. Then we stopped off at a building called the Paochueh Temple, which was built in 1927, and the original hall was a classic Japanese style drum tower, and surrounded by concrete walls, and then nearby or next to the building was this absolutely monstrous yellow Buddha. And when you look at the main building and look at it from the side, it had a different perspective, a completely different perspective. Some part of this complex was dedicated to the Japanese and Chinese soldiers who died in World War II, and the bell tower was donated by the Japanese for that purpose. Then we moved on to visit another attraction, the Taichung Confucian Temple. And this temple was built in the 70s, and like everything there's a political aspect to it, and it's built by the nationalist government to legitimise the classic Chinese culture rather than communism, obviously. And it's a modern temple, and it shows that in the change of colours and design and style. The Confucius Temple is supposedly a peaceful oasis for people to come and visit and celebrate Confucius' birthday on the 28th of September. The temple itself is representative of the temple where Confucius was born in Wufeng Mansion in China, his birthplace, and it follows the style in the Song Dynasty period, with the beams and roofs decorated in grass and flowers and vivid paint. Somewhere in amongst all this complex is a shrine dedicated to the Japanese soldiers that died in World War II. And that's about it. The video was produced by myself, and it's the end of another exciting video of day 2 of our Taiwan tour, October 2018, of the Wufeng Mansion and 2 temples.